Have you ever felt like there's something more going on behind the scenes? That one seemingly simple decision could be part of a much bigger plan that most fans don't fully see yet? Well, that's exactly what's happening right now with the Detroit Lions. The official release of Zadarius Smith has caused quite a stir, and here at Lions News Fan Report, we're going to dive deep into the nuances of this situation, because there's much more to the story than meets the eye. What if, instead of signaling the end of a chapter, this move is just the beginning of something far more significant for the team? Let's take a step back and examine the bigger picture. The Lions, as a franchise, are at a crucial crossroads. The decision to part ways with a player of Smith's caliber wasn't a hasty one. It's likely part of a larger strategy. But what does that strategy look like? Are the Lions setting themselves up for a massive rebound in the next few years? Or is this a risk they're taking that could ultimately come back to haunt them? Detroit is taking calculated risks, but in the world of professional football, risks can be both rewarding and dangerous. To truly understand the gravity of this decision, we need to go deeper into who Smith was for this team. A quick glance at his statistics might tell you everything you need to know. 9 sacks, 38 pressures in 2023. These are no small numbers. Smith wasn't just another player on the field, he was a pivotal piece in the Lions' defensive lineup. His versatility to line up both inside and outside on the defensive line is the type of flexibility that every NFL team craves, especially in the playoffs, when every advantage counts. The fact that Smith still sits as one of the top available free agents speaks volumes about his talent. So why let him go? The financial side of things is the obvious answer. With a hefty contract and a $9 million bonus looming, the Lions needed to free up space to make room for other moves. Cutting Smith allowed them to save around $6 million in salary cap space without taking on dead money. It sounds like a smart decision on paper. After all, salary cap management is key to long-term success in the NFL. But the real question is whether that money will be used wisely. If Detroit isn't able to replace Smith with a player of comparable ability, that $6 million could quickly go down the drain, leaving the defense with a significant hole. It's not just about the money. The bigger picture here is how the Lions are planning for the future. Let's not forget that the front office, led by Brad Holmes, has built a reputation for its smart, forward-thinking moves. They're clearly betting big on the draft, and their decisions in the upcoming selections will tell us everything we need to know about how they intend to replace Smith's production. In terms of the offense, we see the Lions slowly shifting their focus toward youth and speed, especially at the wide receiver position. Jameson Williams is an exciting young talent with a potential to change the offensive dynamic completely. After serving his suspension, Williams has shown flashes of brilliance, and he could emerge as a major deep threat for the team. Combine his speed with Amon-Ra St. Brown's incredible consistency, and we're talking about a duo that could make the Lions' offense one of the most dynamic in the NFL. But is it enough? Amon-Ra St. Brown is undoubtedly the centerpiece of this receiving core. His route running, ability to create separation, and chemistry with Jared Goff make him a crucial asset for the Lions' offense. But the question that continues to linger is whether the team has enough depth to keep up with some of the best offenses in the league. Right now, it feels like the Lions' receiving core has a lot of potential, but the depth just isn't there yet. That's why the draft is so critical. Detroit needs to bring in more talent to solidify its offensive future. Looking at the wide receivers available in the 2025 draft, there are some intriguing prospects who could make an immediate impact. Matthew Golden, a wide receiver from Texas, is a name that stands out. At the Combine, he ran an impressive 4.29-second 40-yard dash, showcasing his blazing speed. But Golden isn't just a one-trick pony. His ability to run precise routes and his reliable hands make him a complete receiver who could add a new dimension to Detroit's offense from day one. If the Lions pull the trigger on Golden, they could have a game-changing deep threat to complement St. Brown and Williams. In the second round, Moore from Stanford brings a different set of skills. Standing at 1.88 meters tall, Moore is a big, physical receiver who excels in contested catches. He runs a 4.44-second 40-yard dash, and his ability to go up and win balls in traffic would make him an ideal X-receiver for Detroit. The Lions are missing that big, physical receiver who can win those tough matchups, and Moore could be the answer. Pairing him with Golden would give Detroit a formidable group of wide receivers capable of dominating at all levels of the field. As we look further down the draft, Jalen Null from Iowa State stands out as an intriguing prospect in the third round. Null has great speed and agility, running a 4.39-second 40-yard dash, and he's a natural in the slot. His ability to generate separation and create big plays after the catch would make him a great addition to the Lions' receiving corps. With St. Brown likely taking on the number 1 role, Noel could thrive as a dynamic third option, and his presence would further open up the offense. Pat Bryant from Illinois is another name worth mentioning. A physical receiver with a knack for blocking, Bryant would fit perfectly into the Lions' run-first mentality. His near 1,000-yard season and 10 touchdowns speak to his ability to contribute both as a receiver and as a blocker in the run game. Bryant would be a great addition to the roster, providing depth and versatility to an offense that relies on both the passing and running game. And don't forget about players like Nick Nash from San Jose State and Isaac TLA from Arkansas, who could provide value as late-round picks. Nash has shown impressive production, totaling over 300 yards and 16 touchdowns in his last season, while TLA, despite coming from Division II, impressed at Arkansas with his reach and athleticism. Both players could develop into solid contributors with the right coaching. But let's go back to the defense. The loss of Smith has left a noticeable gap in the pass rush, and while Marcus Davenport was brought in as a replacement, his injury history and limited playtime over the past 2 seasons raise concerns. Davenport's potential is still there, but can he stay healthy and produce at the level the Lions need him to? The pass rush is perhaps the most critical area the Lions need to address. While the offense is filled with promise, it's the defense that will ultimately determine whether Detroit can make a deep playoff run. And right now, the pass rush is a glaring weakness. The Lions need someone who can consistently pressure the quarterback and disrupt opposing offenses. If Davenport can't step up, Detroit may need to turn to the draft once again to find that key piece. In the 2025 draft, there are several pass rushers who could step in and make an immediate impact. The Lions need to hit on one of these picks if they hope to fill the void left by Smith's departure. Names like Tyree Wilson, Miles Murphy, or Isaiah Foskey could be the difference makers the Lions need to turn their defense into a top-tier unit. But drafting for the pass rush comes with its risks. Not every player translates immediately to the NFL, and the Lions cannot afford another swing and miss in this critical position. So, what does all this mean for the future of the Detroit Lions? Right now, it's a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. The offense has a solid foundation, but it needs more depth and explosiveness to truly compete with the best. The defense, on the other hand, is in a fragile state, and the loss of Smith may be a setback unless the Lions can replace him with a similarly productive player. As the draft approaches, the Lions front office will need to make bold moves. They've shown they're not afraid to take risks, but those risks must pay off if Detroit is to make the leap into playoff contention. The next few months will be critical for the team's future, and every move they make will be scrutinized by fans and analysts alike. The story of the Detroit Lions in 2025 is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. Will the team be able to fill the gaps left by Smith and take the next step toward becoming a true contender? Or will this bold gamble come back to haunt them? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, we'll be here every step of the way, breaking down every move and analyzing what it means for the future of the Detroit Lions. If you're as passionate about this team as we are, don't forget to subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, turn on your notifications, and leave a like. You won't want to miss a single moment of this exciting journey.